to speak. As Vicky said, I'm Jeremy Larivee. I got started in marine-related issues after a trip. Well, it all started with the documentary The Cove, as I'm sure most of you have seen. It's about a dolphin slaughter that happens every year in Japan, and it's closely tied to the captivity industry of bottlenose dolphins, Pacific white-sided dolphins, and other cetaceans. Basically, we saw the documentary and felt the need to get a little more active, and therefore she took a trip to Japan and went to Taiji actually, and when she came home we decided to start Ocean Voice London in order to get ourselves more active. And the main drive behind Ocean Voice London is education, which was instrumental in our shark fin ban that we helped get put in London here. With the shark fin ban, basically on a Tuesday night, I went in front of the city council and had a 4-2 vote, I believe, in favor of, against the ban actually. And by the following Monday, we turned that with the aid of a couple people in this room, their knowledge and their legwork. We turned it into a 14-0 vote for the shark fin ban, which should be coming into London here, which is a great aid in helping that species alone. Shark finning is the practice of capturing a shark at sea, removing its fins solely for the use of human consumption. The shark fin alone only accounts for 1 to 6% of the shark, so the majority of the meat going to waste because there is truly no market for it. There's a very small market for shark fin. With the dolphin and marine animal captivity, it's most people have been to a dolphinarium or seaquarium or swim with dolphin programs, and it's our money that funds these facilities. There's definitely a great allure to seeing these animals. They're majestic, they're not typically seen, especially in a place that's landlocked like London, Toronto, Niagara Falls even. We don't get to see these animals other than on TV. And I've been to Marineland, I see why people would go to see them. But in the reality, these animals do not exhibit their true behaviors. They're, first of all, very family-oriented pods. Orcas are in their families for life. The sons, daughters live with mothers and grandmothers and parents their whole lives, and there's a very structural society to them. The pods of dolphins are the same thing. Each dolphin plays a role, and once you start ripping the pods apart, it's like ripping families apart. It's not just hazardous to the one dolphin that gets chosen for captivity, it's hazardous to the whole pod. The capture process is really traumatizing for these animals because they're chased until the point of complete exhaustion. They're ripped apart during the process of the capture of getting chased. They're mentally debilitating from having this done to them because they don't know. With the capture of dolphins, the cruelest method is the drive hunts, which are instrumental in how Taiji, Japan gets their dolphins. The boats leave the harbor in the morning in search of pods of dolphins, and when a pod is found, they lower their banger poles into the water and start banging on them, which creates a wall of sound, which traumatizes a dolphin because it's a sonar-based animal. The sonar is its main sensory function. It disorients the pod until they just go away from the wall, where they're then herded into the cove. Now, at this point, they're netted off, and a few select animals are chosen for captivity. And I'm going to say the unlucky ones, none of them are really lucky, but the rest are slaughtered for human and pet food consumption. There's many groups that advocate for marine animals, but in the end of the day, we just need to educate and show to other people that this is wrong. With these facilities, such as the two in Canada, which are Marineland and the Vancouver Seaquarium, they claim to be conservationist or research facilities, when in reality, most of these public display facilities only study the captivity side and how to make captivity easier on these animals, not how to better their lives in the wild or conserve these animals. These animals also claim to be enhancing the lives of captive marine animals, when in reality, the animals are just adapting to their surroundings, which are particularly harsh on the animals. You take these sonar-based creatures and you put them in small tanks. Even the largest tanks in the world represent less than 1% of a dolphin or whale's natural habitat that they would live and travel through. These animals travel vast quantities, up to a couple hundred miles. When they're put in captivity, they lose a lot of their natural behaviors, such as their specialized vocalization, which with orcas and other whales, they've even noticed that geographical areas have their own dialect or their own language, such as us humans. With dolphins, they're highly sophisticated animals, which many scientists are fighting for non-human rights of these creatures. Dolphins are self-aware as young as 6 months of age, which is even before humans. If you paint a stripe on a dolphin's face, it wonders what it's doing there. It can recognize its family members. It recognizes the other members of its pod. Marine mammal exhibits are hard on the animals because they have to jump and do tricks to get fed. Or if they don't follow their trainer's commands, they typically don't get fed. With the swim with programs and the human interaction programs, there's a risk of being overfed to the point of obesity, which raises other health concern questions for these animals. The tanks are constructed more for human convenience than the mammal convenience, being constructed out of glass and thick concrete. Which brings us back to the sonar. During the shows, there's loud music, there's banging, which just traumatizes the animals more. And a lot of times they shut off that sonar. They don't hunt. They swim in circles all day. They don't choose the level of interaction between animal and human. So some of these animals are forced to perform. Taking away their freedom for our amusement is unnecessary. To see dolphins and whales, belugas, etc. in the wild, just head to any one of Canada's coasts. Head east, west, or north. You'll see them. There's many eco-tours. Your voice can change the lives of these animals. Your voice can save the lives of these animals. Pass your knowledge on and help others make an educated decision to not buy a ticket. Thank you.